All right, we live now. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Two Gents Podcast. You got Byron Glass and you got Ron Spikes. We're waiting on AF Riggins to come on in. Hopefully he'll be here soon because, if not, we're going to move on to something else. Glass, there's a lot going on out there today, man. There's a lot going out there today, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I see people out there coming on the air. Man, let me yield for a minute. Go ahead, Glass. I'm sorry.
You don't have to yield, Ron. I'm saying the same thing you saying. Matter of fact, I'm seeing more than I've seen in a long time, man. It's some people yapping their gums and some people talking about substance. At the end of the day, you either on the right end of the stick or the wrong end of the stick. And I think a lot of us on the wrong end of the stick, these tariffs are about to take effect. But what I don't understand, Ron, is this. This man sat here and told you exactly what he was going to do.
He did.
And if somebody tell you something and you don't listen to them, then I was always taught it's your fault. So, whatever it is that's, that we're encountering right now, I think those who chose not to go vote, those who voted for something other than what they're seeing now. The old adage is, joke's on you, Jack.
It is. It's really on the people that didn't vote, that didn't want to get involved. I see you, Pastor Riggins. I'm getting ready to bring you to the stage. Yeah, it's on them now. It ain't on us. We can sit out here and talk about it all the time. We really can. We can go back and forth, have banner back and forth about what should be going on, but in the end, that's on those people. I mean, if you didn't get out and vote, you don't have a right to even say anything. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm taking away your free speech, but as far as the election and what we're dealing with now, I don't know where we go from. I don't know. I mean, I know all of us at least voted.
Hey, the question is who voted for the right person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sitting up hollering pace.
Yeah.
But y'all, hey, Pastor Riggins, how you doing, man? I'm sorry. Because I didn't even let you introduce yourself or say nothing. Y'all just run the show for a minute.
I don't know if the volume is right. I can barely hear y'all.
Okay, let me go down here. Hopefully I don't kill the show like I did last time. Let me see if I can cut up the volume on. No, that's mine. Let me see if I can cut up the settings. Y'all go ahead. Y'all can engage. I'm going to cut this up. No, that's mine. Dang. Y'all can go ahead and engage if you can hear each other. Because it might be mine on my end, but if you can hear me, go ahead and engage.
I got some audience out there say that they hear us just fine. I just got another request to send the podcast link. So Riggins, I don't know where he's at or what he's doing, but this is something that I'm assuming he wanted to dive into. So I think it's got a lot of substance. I'm not sure who's in tune with it or whatever the case may be.
Change this arrangement.
Can you hear now, Riggins?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was my technology.
Go ahead on and do the intro to yourself, brother.
Good evening, guys. Glad to be on the show. Bishop A.F. Riggins, United Covenant Hope Church of God. Out of Houston, Texas. Been rocking with Baron Glass and Ron Spikes since 2015. We on Blog Talk Radio. Glad to be live with you, two gents and a mic.
Hey, Riggins, I sit back sometimes and I be looking at, Shannon Sharp and all those shows.
Yeah.
And I think back to when we was doing it, wasn't nobody doing it. Practically, we had 7 full days of content from all across the country.
Smoking glass.
Yeah, a matter of fact, tonight's show, it would have been Real People, Real Life, Real Answers on Tuesday night. But nevertheless, I think they used to enjoy that one-on-one comeback when we would be able to ask the question, you would answer them. I think we did the entire book of Revelations. So I guess what I'm saying is a lot of stuff that we were doing back then. Had we just stayed the course, but we had some interruption. We had deaths in the family. We had, friends that have left here. So I got, let's sidetrack. We're back on track now.
Yes, sir.
Riggins, let me ask you this. Most people have heard on this broadcast that we always introduce you as a historian because you're a history teacher, you're a love of history. Just before we get off into the subject matter, explain why the concept of us even talking about martial law is important, even though the vast majority of people that's living now may have never experienced that, but we know at some point America has experienced that. So just give us a brief intro as to why, as a historian, you felt this to be an important subject matter for two gents to talk about tonight.
Thank you very much, Mr. Glass. Martial law is when the executive branch of our government, which is the president, can basically declare that our nation is in danger or in peril or is very troubled, and the executive branch must take control of all decisions for the country as to save the country. So then what would happen is all of the executive orders that Trump is writing would become an everyday routine of not just writing an executive order. It'll all fall under martial law, that whatever he wants to do at that time that he deems his cabinet and his people deem necessary will then be enacted. At that point, if he goes to martial law, then Congress really loses power. The court would be at a point where they can't even step in. Now, what would have to happen is that if the Supreme Court deemed that the democracy was in peril, they can pass some injunctions, and then they would have to find someone in the military to remove the president from office. What Trump has set up now is a bunch of loyalists. It would be hard to make this happen. But then if he went into a martial law, a coup or even up to a civil war can occur to undo what he's doing. That's why it's dangerous. Because see, when the president gets to the point where what he's doing is deemed the threat to the country, then you can invoke the 25th Amendment to have him removed. The cabinet would have to do that. When he surrounds himself with loyalists. So this is why I'm very concerned that he would come to the point where in April, he supposedly is supposed to make an order to study whether the country is in danger and needs martial law based on what he deems to be immigrants and all type of other issues he's claiming like in the inner city, crime and all the stuff. And if he can get someone to agree to it or enough of people to buy into it, then supposedly martial law could go into effect in June. Well, this is only a step towards him becoming a dictator. This something similar is what Hitler used. They voted Hitler into office. And then Hitler put things in place to take full control of the government. And then they marched down to the Gestapo came in place, which is the military, to enact the martial law. And everything began to roll. In this case, what would happen is, I'm gonna project this out, and it's gonna be sound dangerous and it can sound scary, but this is a possibility of scenario that then everyone that Trump is not deemed to be an American citizen, even by race, color, creed, he can begin to either deport or leave us here, but put us in a second-class citizen situation where we live in communities or neighborhoods or areas where we don't have full freedom or can't move, can't leave and go across state lines or or can't fly out of the country, or only can go to work and come back home, and that's moving toward what he would try to do, and that's dangerous. Now, I know that's projected way out there. I know that sounds kind of crazy. And you said, well, 330 million people, how can we do that? Hey, don't ever underestimate the power of the government if the government has full control through martial law. Then he would have to take a military coup within the military to rise up against the leaders that's with him to overthrow it within. So now we have violence in the street to regain our government.
So Riggins, just for those who and this is not a condescending remark, it's just the way I see it. For those who may be limited in understanding how even just the basic law enforcement works, and for those who may say that this is a stretch, this is just one's imagination. What signs are you seeing that existed back years ago when other people have used martial law versus what we see now? Make the comparison for us, or draw the comparison as clear as you can, so people can understand that this is not just a far-fetched idea that's been created from conspiracy theorists or whatever. So just kind of draw it in a little bit closer if you can.
Okay, let me give you an example. I was studying Hitler in World War II when we did Remembering the Holocaust week as a world history teacher. The lady that survived the Holocaust told how it started. First of all, if you understand, the Jews had a certain look about them and a certain way they appeared. So lo and behold, each Jew, student and kid and family had to put a star on themselves to say, identify you a Jew. Her dad wore a beard. They wanted to shave the beards off. Okay? So, watch this. What does it mean today? Just today, or yesterday, the Supreme Court ruled that immigrants' tax information can be turned over to ICE.
Rick, while you there, break it down just a little bit more simplified, so because we want to make sure we're enlightened and informed. If you can, even if you don't do it now, at some point, break it down that immigrants' income information can now be submitted to ICE. Go from there.
Yes, sir. So submitted to ICE, which means now that is used now to identify who all the immigrants are, just like you identified who all the Jews were. I'm getting comparison.
Mm-hmm.
And the people say, well, people here illegally, they might need to go home. No. Let me back all the way back up. 1619, the first people brought here illegally, called slaves.
Come on, Riggins.
Can I interject there just a little bit?
Go ahead, sir.
I'm gonna help you get an understanding out there, Glass. I think that's what you're looking for. So yeah. I'm gonna help you get an understanding. We had a recent event that happened in New Orleans, and even though it was local and centralized to that area, the military took over at that particular point in time. They actually worked under the civilian authority, but the military had to take over in New Orleans when they had that big flood because they was having so much different stuff going on. That's a recent example of martial law coming into effect because they had to appoint a general that was retired to take over because there was so much chaos. The civilian authorities had lost their way and their will, the police authorities and everybody. It wasn't anything out there. So they had to implement what's called martial law. They had to put one person in charge, and it just so happened that military retired general was there. So that's a more recent example of martial law taking effect in the United States and how it affect people. The police didn't have any authority at that time. The only people that had authority was the military. So, Pastor, I hope that helped you tie it close.
Thank you.
But in that case, it was needed because up to 10,000 people probably drowned. We don't know. Remember, talking about Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
That
Right.
is good use and a needed use of martial law to put things in order. Trump is creating and lying. I don't have no problem saying he's lying. Lying about the use of martial law. He's saying, look at this inner city Detroit. Look at Chicago. Look at Philadelphia. Look at inner city Houston. Look at Dallas. Look, that's what he's saying. Look at all these sanctuary cities. Do you understand the mayor of New York has got all charges dropped by cutting the deal with Trump? A Democratic elected mayor of New York. Trump says, if you cut a deal not to be a sanctuary city, we'll get you out of trouble for finance abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Telltale signs he's going to go around all these cities who are either sanctuary cities, San Francisco, Seattle, Washington, New York, for immigrants, and then he going to the inner cities for African Americans and gonna, just like when we had the Black Lives Matter after George Floyd, and the people protesting, marching in the street. How did the riots get started? Black SUVs would drive up with black ski mask people, start into the crowd, beating folk, and starting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was Trump. But if he
So,
put
Rick-
it on, he could legally do it without them hiding behind the mask. That's what I'm saying.
Ron, got a comment said, I've been saying that martial law is true, objective, and he and Musk have been on course to make everyone mad, even his base of cult Riggins. Dale is one of those historians as well. Let me ask you this, Riggins, just for those, again, we're trying to enlighten. Define sanctuary city. Now, I know, I'm almost certain Ron know, you know. Explain what sanctuary city means.
Sanctuary cities are cities that have said, listen, immigrants can come and we're not going to mess with you and try to round you up and send you back to where you come from if you're here illegally.
Basically, a safe haven.
Safe haven. But what is happening is because of that, people like Greg Abbott and other people against who are trying to run immigrants out have then now picked up immigrants, put them on buses.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if you want to be a sanctuary city, we're going to flood you. Put people on the bus, send them to Chicago. Put them on a bus, send them to New York. Put them on a bus, send them to Seattle. Put them on a bus, send them away and say, since y'all want to be a sanctuary city, we're going to flood you with these immigrants and cause a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Trump now looks and says, oh, now we got a problem. We need martial law to clean up the problem. So they create a problem so they can put martial law in place.
So Pastor in Glass, I just want to ask you something. And I'm gonna need y'all to interject on this because you know where I like to go. So our ex-president got on the air, and instead of talking about the issues that's going on, he was talking about the issue of him and his wife not getting along. Now it's a lot going on out there in our world, and we're not the smartest person in the world. Here's a pastor talking about interjecting martial law, that might be the end goal of where we're going. But you talking about what you and your wife, how you and your wife are making up. It's something wrong within this world. If that's the only thing that we got to talk about, and we try to divert away from it, this is serious. What Pastor is talking about. This is so serious that it could happen. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why it could happen is because it ain't just him, but we're at a point where we can't help the world. We're not the world police no more. China, if you go out there and you look at other medias, China's out there trying to negotiate the war in Ukraine. You know what happens when you go down? The only way that you can come back up is, I guess, you have to implement martial law, like Pastor is saying. So if you think it don't affect you right now, it's not on your street right now, it could be.
Let me say something. Two things. Last week, Obama, I know I'm gonna call my name, called himself talking about the situation with Trump, but he talked about himself. If I would have done this, if I would have done this, quit talking about if you'd have done this. Give us a solution for what Trump is doing. Not compare yourself personally to him. If I would have done this, the Congress would rose up against me. If I'd have done this, they'd try to put me out. If I'd have done, no, it's not about you anymore. It's about America. What should America be doing? Because Trump is doing it. Not about if you would have done it. And that's why they get in the bubble, and it's always red against blue, me against you, and it's not about the country anymore. And one more thing I'm saying, Dale talks about the martial law. Let me tell you one more thing. He brought up Elon Musk. Elon Musk is an Afrikaner. Elon Musk is an Afrikaner. I'm gonna say it again. Elon Musk is an Afrikaner. Nelson Mandela is how he ended up in jail because of martial law.
Because of a man by the name of F.W. Du Clerk.
Yes. In the 60s, they drowned him in martial law because he was one of the vocal leaders against apartheid. He was likened to Martin Luther King Jr. at the time. I'm not gonna say he was peaceful. I'm not gonna say he was radical as Malcolm X. He was somewhere in between. Don't talk, but walk with a big stick. And if they gonna come against him, he's gonna put it on him. The ANC, that's what he's with. African National Congress, am I right? They put him in jail because through martial law for 27 years. This is what I'm talking about.
Hey Rick, let me just share my piece on Barack. I think you have to understand what he was doing and why he was doing it. What I got from it is that as a president, okay, had I done these things, okay, look at what would have happened to me, even based on the things that I did. So if it's okay for him to do it, why would it not have been okay for me to do it? Remember, they scorched this man for wearing
a tan suit,
a tan color suit. So what he was doing was saying, okay, America, if we are all in this game together, if it's okay for him to do it, why is it not okay for me to do? Not saying that he would do it, because he wasn't saying it. What he was saying was, in my opinion, and I agree with you guys, but there's another side. The moral compass that existed, well, let me just back up, Regan, that we thought existed all of these years, when the American Negro has said for years that the law is not fair, it's still separate but equal. That's been said. If you ask anybody, Ron Spikes, that pretty much grew up doing segregation before integration, a vast majority of them, and I've done a poll with a group of alumni, and over 90% of them said that they felt like it was the wrong thing to do. It was the wrong thing to happen. So I'm saying all that to say is that the voices that are now being heard, many people said it for years, but nobody listened to us. But now the chickens, like Malcolm say, has come home to roost. And as a result of them coming home to roost, you expect those who've been out there fighting, which is the American Negro, for everything that they've gotten. It's time to sit on the sideline, home.
Yeah. And I understand what you're saying, what Barack Obama was saying. I just want him to add to it. After you make the comparison, give us some
context.
Oh, yeah, we all agree on that. No doubt. And we've said that since he's been in office. It's still dealing with a few things, Ron.
Stop it, Glass. Stop it. I'm going to stop you right there. I know where you're going.
Yeah, he should have been dealing with some, but the one thing that I fought him on the most, Riggins, and you and I talk about this, he failed to fight for Merrick Garland, which now, knowing what we know about him, we don't even know if he would have been the best person for the Supreme Court seat. But he failed to fight for him, and he took his gloves off, and Mitch McConnell has created what we now have, which is 50 years of a setback.
Something else that happened. Who was his AG? Who was Barack Obama AG?
I can't think, black guy.
Can't think of his name. His name is right at the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it.
Eric something?
Eric.
Come on, y'all. Come on, Dale. Help us out.
I can't. Eric. Dang, Riggins, you get, man. I'm getting to where I can't I can't remember.
Now, some stuff come on my mind. The short-term memory be gone sometimes.
Hey, Riggins, my short-term memory do not work at all now, bro.
Well, while you looking it up, Glass, I see you.
Yeah, you
I
know
just
I'm
want to say
looking now.
this. I'm Eric Holder. I
Eric
just
Holder.
want to say this.
Let me tell you why. Eric Holder would have prosecuted Trump at the top.
Yes.
You never prosecute from the bottom down. Why prosecute 1,500 people and then come at Trump last? You kill a snake by cutting off his head. You got a snake in your front yard or backyard in springtime, you cut off the tail, you still gonna get bitten. You cut off the head, you still gonna get bitten. You cut off the head, the snake is dead. That's why
I agree with you, but here's the other problem, Pastor Riggins, and since we're gonna go there, I was gonna do it at a later date, but I'm gonna say it right now. You can't prosecute a man when you lying on the stand yourself. You had the strongest case against him, but you can't prosecute him if your stuff ain't together. You gonna bring your boyfriend and everybody else into it, and then when they ask you about it, he stood up, he sit on the court stand and said, "Let me think about it." He took 1 or 2 minutes before he said, "No, it didn't happen." I'm talking about Fannie Willis out of Atlanta. But you know what? Let me tell you. Wait. Just a minute, Pastor.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be quiet. But I want to make a point.
Go ahead.
You don't go out there and get caught weeks after you think the trial is over on a trip coming back from LA or wherever you talking about, and they catch you and him in the airport with luggage and everything. But you say it was over on the stand. You say it never existed. So you can't prosecute. One of our problems since we brought up the legal system is that we got to get ourselves together before we go out and prosecute this man. You can't have prosecuting because he got lawyers. He got people with cameras in airports everywhere. They waiting to destroy you. So what I'm trying to say is when they try to go after this man, everybody has went after him has been destroyed. You have to have yourself in place.
I got to give you a little pushback. I contest that. It does not matter whether she had a sexual relationship with him or not. This man is the president of the United States. He violated the Constitution. He did multiple things that should not have happened. He's a man that's above the law. So her having a relationship that's consenting is a no-brainer for me.
See, but I'm not even going to the state case. I'm not going to the state case. I'm not going to the state case. I'm not going to the state case. Because the state case was the under case. Because you see how he got the 37 counts of felony in New York? That was a state case.
And what did they do with it after he got elected?
Huh?
What did they do with it after he got elected?
But he's right. They can't take away that 37 because it's New York state. The federal case is what they threw out. He'll never be tried on all the boxes in Mar-a-Lago and the spy stuff he did. He'll never be tried for January the 6th. He'll never be tried for it. They got thrown out. You had to go federal, which is Eric Holder, an attorney general, would have got at the top. If 1,500 people went to jail for being involved, then the ringleader would have went to jail on the top. That's the problem.
I hear you, Pastor. But it don't seem like it sticks to Trump. That's all I can say. It don't stick to him.
Well, let me tell you why it don't stick to Trump. And this is why Biden was weak. Biden still is weak. Biden should never become president of the United States. Except that he saved the democracy at the time. But when he said he wasn't going to run again, he shouldn't have lied. He's weak. That's why it took him that long to become president. He ran about 7 or 8 times. He's all we had left in the COVID to try to keep people from dying. Because he should have picked Eric Holder or Stacey Abrams or somebody that's going to go and kick some butt. He gave Merrick Garland the booby prize for not being on the Supreme Court. And look at Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland didn't even raise his voice to talk right.
You know something else? You just made a good point.
Talk right. He talk with a meek and mild voice. You can't go in there. You got to go like Bill Barr. You got to go in there kicking butt as an attorney general. You got to go like Robert F. Kennedy as attorney general. The daddy, not Junior. the daddy, the one that killed. You got to go in there like you got to take names and kicking butt. Merrick Garland came in there meek and mild, and this is what we got.
Go ahead, Ron.
You know, one pastor, as I listen to you, I hear a lot of ifs. I'm not criticizing you, but this man has done everything that a normal person wouldn't do. And this is where I'm going to go with this. And I'm going to back it up to what Byron Glass said. If this man could do 60% of what he's doing right now, what could have happened when somebody gave us the excuse, I don't want to offend somebody?
Yeah.
What could happen when you would have stepped out on the line? You're more worried about your reputation. And let me just go here, because I don't want to get too far off of martial law, but I got to make this point. When they start putting out information that's destroying your character, because he been sitting on the sideline all this time. When they start putting out information that's destroying his character, now he want to pick and choose a soft audience that he can go to called Hamilton University and kind of guide the audience in which he want to go. They should have asked him some real hard questions. Like, when you was in office, why didn't you do the same things that he did if you got the same authority? They didn't ask that. Some of this stuff could have been eliminated. And I'm gonna help y'all. Pastor's a historian, but I'm gonna help y'all with a little bit of history. Go out and find out the real reason why we in the Ukraine war. I think it would surprise you.
Tell us what the real reason is, Ron.
Let me go back, because it goes all the way back to before Bill Clinton. We made a promise to President Putin that we was not going to occupy Ukraine. We wasn't going to occupy any of those states around him. Clinton decided that he wanted to change the policy and the procedures that was in place. That's when Putin said, no, I was trying to support you guys. I wanted to become a part of NATO. He asked Clinton to become a part of NATO, and Clinton was in the room with him Clinton. Putin asked Clinton to become a part.
Putin should be a part of NATO?
No, I don't think so, but I'm just saying. Okay. But when he asked Clinton, when he was sitting in the office with him, Clinton said yes. It's in the strip for Washington. I just saw this. I don't want to get too far off this, Pastor. I'm coming back to you. I'm gonna let you go ahead and martial law. But the reason why we in this is because we had a saxophone player. We had a well-spoken gentleman that's in the office. And if you do the research, I think you'll be surprised at what all happened during those times that we was dancing to the music. What was that saxophone playing? I forgot the name of that song, Glass. But anyway, we're here. And you know why Pastor is talking about martial law right now? Because for so long, we have tried to be the police to every country that's out there. We can only go so far.
Yeah, but Ron, that comes with the arrogance of America. Remember, everything that America has achieved has been with power and aggression. Mm-hmm. So some of this stuff that we're getting, to me, it's simply the chicken is just now coming home to roost. We're doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to be everything for everybody, and we have never been what we should be to our own people here in this country. Mainly, if we dealt with every problem that we have here instead of dealing with every problem that everybody else got, this place would be a great place to be.
And the real reason why me and Glass are saying this, Pastor, I'm gonna give it to you, is because Pastor brought up this subject about martial law. You know how you get to martial law? It's by the things that you've done in the past, right, and you don't see a future because you can't be that police no more. You don't have the funds, the will, and everything. It's a war going on right now in the Red Sea, and half the Americans don't even know about it. Mm-hmm. The Houthi is challenging America in the Red Sea. You know what happens in the Red Sea? That's the only place that you can bring goods out. They blowing up ships over there. The Americans are trying to keep that open so it doesn't disrupt the system. But we sit here, and Pastor Riggins is trying to tell you what could become of this martial law, and nobody else is talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Let expound on what y'all saying. The frustrations that y'all speaking is what happened to the whole country.
Mm-hmm.
The response is wrong. What I mean is this: MAGA people who he said are uneducated, the very unlearned, educated, poor people, mostly white. I don't mean on him, most Anglo Americans, said, look, we can't be the police of the world no more. Look, I can't feed my children. Look, who's going to be our champion to make America great again? And it chose this guy who fed off this whole frustration we have and turned back, and now what he's going to do? Put the hurt on their own country. Instead of police the world, you want to police America. You get what I'm saying? You follow what I'm saying? Because martial law is when the police is in. See, the executive branch of the government is responsible for enforcing the law. The legislative branch, Congress and the Senate, they make the laws. The judicial, which is the court, the Supreme Court, interprets the law. Who enforces the law? The executive branch, which includes president, military, police, and everything down the line. All Trump want to do is take all that power in one concentrated part of our government and run the whole country that way. The military tell the police, like I said, the military to go to police in New Orleans, the military tell the police what to do. Part of police is ICE, part of police is marshals, part of police is National Guard. Come on, part of military. All he's gonna use all that power to say what he want to do, how he want to do it. Let's go make a hit on South Side Chicago tonight and clean it up. And everything that you think ought to go to jail, go to jail. Like, for instance, they deported that man illegally back to Venezuela. And guess what? The Supreme Court, they tried to bring, whoever he's going back to, they tried to bring him back. He got the Supreme Court to even stop that injunction right now to study some more. Man illegally, wrongly deported, mistakenly deported. But just because the fact that he don't want to be wrong, and because the man is of that race, he don't want to bring the man back to his family. Hey, imagine what's happening that you out on the street, driving your car, pull you over. You haven't done anything wrong. Sit you in jail for 30 days, and then the court gotta wait to make a judgment, see, put you for another 30 days. You lost your job, everything. Having them just in the wrong place, wrong time, because of martial law.
Hey, Ron, I know you'll appreciate this. Dale says civil war could be the result of martial law. What do you think, Riggins?
That's Ron? What I said that earlier. I said the only way you're gonna be able to stop martial law is that either you have to have a coup from the military or you have to have a civil war.
What you think, Mr. Spikes?
You know, I'm a yield right now because I'm full of it, and I don't want to take away from what Pastor Riggins has got going on.
Come on, Ron. You know we don't shy away.
I know, but people accuse me. People think that I'm just sitting here. You know, I need to give you a little bit of history about myself. I'm retired now.
We ain't worried about
I can sit here. I can a glass. I could go there. I sit up late nights going through this stuff and listening to what people saying. And then I try to come back. As long as you don't ask me about Cory Booker, I'm doing pretty good.
Hey, Ron, you know, we don't shy away from, we ain't worried about what Mr. Johnny or Miss Susan saying. State your case, brother.
You know what? We put ourselves in this position. Right. There's a couple of things that happened. We didn't get out the vote. We didn't put the right person in office. We didn't go back to the American public and let them pick who they wanted to be in there. We took away options. And when you take away people's options, you're no different than Trump. You're going to throw somebody out there and say, you got to vote for him. After they threw him out there, nobody got behind her. And then all of a sudden you're going to say, well, you know, here we go. We ain't got no other choice. Now they done made that decision. This stuff happened when Biden decided to run again. Mm-hmm. It happened. It's on his watch. It's on him. I don't know how he's going to go down in history, but he made the biggest mistake that I've never seen anybody make. But the other thing that happened is that when Obama was in office, he had the same, this is what Glass is trying to tell y'all. He had the same opportunity as Trump. You're more worried about a reputation than than doing your country. Trump out there taking care of his boys. We were asking you to make a decision to take care of us.
Hey,
Not
Mr.
black
Spikes.
people as a whole, but everybody. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
I
no, no, no,
told you
no, no, no,
I didn't want to go there.
no. I'm gonna let you finish. I just got a message, a text, and the question is this: what choice did we have? Honestly, there was only 3 months left. I'm gonna yield back to you. I'm just, I like to read these comments, so that we got listeners out there that's asking. So expound on.
But
I'm gonna help you out, Ron. Ron, you helped me out earlier. I'm helping you out.
go ahead.
What Ron is saying is the reason why we had 3 months, because Biden lied. Biden, I got upset when the Biden said I'm gonna run again. I knew it was going down. I didn't know how bad it was gonna be going down. Because he lied. He was too old when he went in the first time. And then I know Ron did a whole show on this. They were hiding things. You could see the man was having dementia. You could see the man was physically losing it. When he first came out, brother, he running up the ramp. Now he's shuffling. He's
Going off the back of the airplane.
And now he's making short statements.
But Riggins, the same thing you said, the same thing you said, Riggins. Here's my problem. The same issues exist now with the person that's in office, but nobody says shit about it.
No.
They ain't said that. No. They ain't said that. Pastor Riggins, let me finish. Let me. Oh no, I can go there.
Primary, Barry. We didn't have a chance to run a primary where the guy from
Thank you, Pastor.
Arizona might have been on the ticket. The guy from Philadelphia might have been on the ticket. The other guy that was running with her vice president might have been the vice president of one of them other guys, or it might have been a leader. We didn't have a full primary to put the young, even if Akeem wanted to run. I don't know if he got on nobody.
Hey Riggins, I'm a Blue Devil fan. We had the game won with 1 minute and some seconds left. We lost the game. I ain't complaining. We had what we had there. No matter what Joe Biden did or didn't do, people still could have went out to vote. So all this complaining about, I think that's I'm not directing this toward you and Ron. That's not what we're doing. We're just giving our different points of view. I agree with everything that you're saying, but I'm saying, what else could we have done since Biden did that? Did that prevent us from not going to vote?
No, we should have voted.
No, it didn't. But here's what it did. I'm sorry.
I believe we won and it was stolen. But what happened was with Biden and Harris, it's really Biden ticket with Harris being the front man now.
Hey, boy,
they did turn around and was scared to fight.
Hey,
it took Harris a couple of days before she really conceded. I heard behind the scenes. Now I can go have to research and get to the bottom of it. They were arguing whether they need to go and say, wait a minute, like Trump said, this election been stolen. And Biden like, nah, we don't need to go down that road.
Mr. Spike.
Hey, guys, I want to stop you right there. I don't want us to get too far away from this because y'all both make some good points.
Hey, Rick.
But we got to go back here because
hold on. Since we're there, not meaning to cut you off. This is a comment to I don't know if it's either one of us, but hey, he being Obama did not have the same opportunity as Trump. He's a black man. He had to appear as working across the aisle. White men have a different perspective. His aggression comes across as patriotic and strong. Barack would come across as an angry black man, and he would have only had one term. We all know that. Is that true or false?
Let me just address that. Was he in his second term when he could have did that?
Is it true or false, Ron? What I'm saying is,
are you talking about the first half of his first half? If you're talking about the first half, I can agree with you. But he got elected twice, didn't he?
Right. In the second term, he should have kicked butt. Because by law, you can't get elected third term.
But Riggins, you know this as well as I do. What Obama would have done and what somebody else do, we see this every day. We talk about it. We can't do what everybody else do. We got to come in supernatural. So
I know.
what I'm saying is the perspective that we have, and this is why I disagree with what we're saying. See, we're contradicting ourselves. We all know that we can't do what the next man do. We've said that for 1,000 years. So if Obama would have came in there thuggish, he would have never got elected.
Let me just say this.
Are you saying the second term, Obama did what he wanted to do, they would impeach him and put him out?
Say what now?
Are you saying in the second term, when Obama knew he couldn't get reelected again, if he'd have done everything we wanted him to do, they would impeach him, put him out? You saying? It's the only way to was impeach him.
Well, Riggins, I'm gonna tell you like this. Barack ain't worried about what we worried about. Okay.
No, he worried
Barack,
about his wife.
Yeah, well, he should be. But Barack is well. See, this is what I hate. Now we're stoning a man who's done something that nobody else has done.
I know.
No, we're not. No, we're not. I'm not stoning him.
This issue I have with black folk, we have the expectation that and I'm like Ron. Now we have the expectation that they're supposed to come in and clean up everything that somebody else has done. Man, y'all wrong for that.
I'm gonna agree with you, but here's what I'm gonna say to that. You and me and Pastor Riggins would be amazed at what Barack did off the books that nobody knew anything about.
What did he do?
I'm just gonna. I want to do a show on it.
What did the other 44 do?
They did the same thing, but they did it. But here's the difference between the other 45 and that man that's in office right now. He said what he was gonna do.
I agree with you.
He got right on that stage right after he walked off of there and told you, "I'm the president of the United States." I'm here, and this is what I'm gonna do. I don't care what the official rules are. I don't care about all that stuff. I got my executive orders in place. Now, I'm gonna say this. I hope that the only thing that when they start talking about President Obama in history, the only thing that they give him credit for is being the first black president in the United States of modern day. Because there's some stuff out there. I say I hope that's not the only thing that they give him credit for.
Okay.
It's being the first black president in the United States, because
they got to give him the affordable care.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you. That's one.
Anybody
got anything else out there in YouTube land that we can give credit to?
But Riggins, think about this now. We all talk about history. We know what he did. So are we gonna let somebody else write the narrative? Hell, it's a lot that he did. Okay, but you got to remember, there was no benchmark for him to follow. He's the first black man. He had to go in with the expectation, with the world on his shoulder. When Trump got elected, when Bush got elected, it's been a white man's world. There's already a precedent set. Barack came in and did what he could do.
Yes.
He did the best that he could do. Because at the end of the day, Ron Spikes, he got a Congress and a Senate that could always, and no matter what, Ron, no matter what, he's still just like you and I, bro.
Look,
absolutely, but I want to give him credit for something else too.
My problem is with Biden, because if Obama told you he's gonna do something, he did it. If Obama told you he's gonna do something, whether it was right or wrong, he did it. When he decided he was gonna back the bill for LGBTQ, everybody said, "Man, you got off your religion." He said, "But it's a civil rights." He did it. Whatever he said he was gonna do, he did it. Biden said, "I will not run." Now, if he lie on that, that was a very tenet of our democracy hanging in the balance for us to put up someone for 91 days against a tyrant. Biden messed us up. That's what my problem over there. Now we in it now. We can't undo it. We in it. And when I'm saying now we in it, we, like Dale says, if we go to martial law, it's only two ways to come out of it: a coup from within the military, or civil war.
Hey.
And when you civil war, that means that you and I, whether we are 50s or 60s, might end up in a situation that's violent to save our nation.
Hey, Riggins, Ron, another comment. Ron, don't look so serious over there, brother. You look like you in another world there, homie.
No, I'm just trying to hold my peace. That's all. You know me. I'm trying to hold my peace.
Hey, Riggins.
Hey, Obama radio, you can never see it in the face. Now we can see it. It's funny.
The individual says, we know damn well that Barack would have been crucified as soon as he got out of line. That's what the slave master has always done to the slave, Ron. You know that, homie. So Barack couldn't go in and flex his muscle. He couldn't go in and be Incredible Hulk or Superman. He did what he could do with the restraints. Now, I disagree with a lot that he did, Ron. Come on, now we can debate this eloquently. I'm agreeing with everything you're saying. Everything you're saying. But at the same time, I gotta give a man the credit because he faced things that all three of us have never faced. And we'll never face.
Let me say something else. The strain of his marriage is probably because of that too.
Well, we don't, man. Do y'all really?
When all their business.
Wait, Glass. Now he brought it up. We didn't bring it up. We didn't know about what was going on behind closed doors.
No, Ron, you ain't seen all those reports out there. People talking about the man about to get a divorce. So he just decided, okay, I ain't in the Oval Office now. Some of these things I can address.
With everything that's going on in the world, with that man being in office, with the policies and procedures in place, we just had a man that stood up and talked for 24 hours. 26, I don't know what the record was, but he stood up and talked. We had another man stand up with his cane in Congress. We had another woman that jumped just in her committee trying to stop and block everything that she can. She doesn't have power because she doesn't have the gavel. So we sit here and we're talking about what he could have did. Let me give him credit for one more thing, because we tend to have selective amnesia. Now I got to build this up, because when he came in office, the economy was in the worst position it had ever been in. Almost every bank in the whole United States and world was failing,
and he saved it.
And he did some maneuvers to save us.
Yeah.
And he did some maneuvers to save the world, because there was a lot of banks that went down. And I'm going to give him credit for it, because if he wouldn't have been in office and this fool would have been in office, we've been in that line out there. I'm going to have to find me a picture. We've been in that 1920s line standing up. But you got to give him credit. But here's what you got to give him credit for on his exit after his 8 years. He gave Trump something that normally presidents don't give him. Trump didn't have to deal with a bad economy, because Barack had cleaned it up and it was slowly coming above and going somewhere. But Trump took credit for it.
Hey, let me tell you something else, Ron. What Barack is doing right now is talking as a private citizen. He's not talking as president no more. I give him credit for even talking, because where in the heck, did I use the word heck? Because I'm a bishop, I don't use the other word.
Come on, Pastor, we got you.
Where the heck is George W. Bush? After Jeb Bush got that whipping, the first debate from Trump back in 2015, George W. Bush said, no more. We're not even touching Trump. This whole last time, when Cheney and his vice president, Cheney's daughter, Adam Zingler, I can't say his name right, stood up against Trump, everybody saying, what day is Bush gonna come out? Bush said, no, I'm only shooting quail somewhere. And pumping oil somewhere. And going to the right.
I'm not gonna let him get away with it either, Pastor, because I'm gonna say something. You know what you elected him on? His name. His daddy's reputation. But he didn't run the country when he was there. Look at the man that made all the money out of the deal when George. You don't hear nothing from him. But he had offices all over the United States. Look at everything that went on during George Bush's term and see who succeeded. He should be out there hunting quail, because he didn't run the country.
He didn't say anything against Trump.
No, he ain't gonna say nothing.
No, silence is, when you're silent about something, it's almost as if you're approving of it. Even though let me go back a little bit further before Glass jump in.
You know, when you have accepted money from the devil, when you accepted money from the devil, Trump wasn't poor. I don't know how you think we got here. Trump was donating to Democrats, Republicans, and everybody. When you are owed favors, you don't say nothing. You sit there and you be quiet.
Yeah. Let me tell you something.
Go back. One more, Pastor, and then I'm gonna yield because I've been leaning. I'm going somewhere, but Hillary Clinton, the Clintons, when you owe favors,
I know.
do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm out.
Trump too long, and then Trump said, "Okay, I'm tired of y'all playing with me like a bully on the playground." He turned around and started beating them all up. And let me tell you something else, though. Dale Summers said before this last statement of truth we were talking about, he said, "This is what the racist people want, is a civil war." He talked about Charles Manson and Helter Skelter back in the 60s. And this is what they're pushing for. They're pushing for a civil war. And then out of the Civil War, they can say that we had to put, if they can win that war, they can try to say now the Anglo-American must be in control because the rest of the masses of the United States are out of control. Look how they fighting us and stuff. They're pushing for a civil war. But I'm saying that's why we have to be very alert. Wake up and stay woke. Wake up and stay woke.
And here's the other deal. We need to put some reality on this, Pastor, because most people don't understand this. You know, I always talk about the railroad track that run through those small towns.
Mm-hmm.
You know where we got the majority of people at? Inner cities,
Yeah.
major cities.
Yeah.
So when you get to talking about a civil war, there's a lot of people outside those cities that ain't gonna be on your side.
Let me say something, Ron, to say what you're saying. I grew up in one of the small towns called Benton, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
The train runs about every couple of hours. Go over to Fifth Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Used to be
over
a train tracks there too.
Go over to City Gas. What the train's doing over there?
Mm-hmm.
They're still with graffiti on it. Let me say it again. Go over to Fifth Ward off by Liberty Road.
Mm-hmm.
Train tracks, the trains are sitting still. Go over to City Gas by Atwater, going over towards Mason. The trains are sitting still
Mm-hmm.
in the inner cities.
Mm-hmm.
It's a railroad graveyard. We'll run through all the rural cities, the trains are running hard and heavy. Even go out here towards Cypress and 290 by Barker Cypress, all done. The train is running. The train is running on the outskirts and the suburbs. Train sitting still in the cities, which means that they're gonna have the resources. Come on, they're gonna have everything they need running in the rural and in the suburbs, while we can't get to what we need because the trains are sitting still in the inner city. I'm just building what you're saying.
So when we run out of ammunition, where we at? That's what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
When we run out of ammunition, where we at?
When
we run out of ammunition at the Walmarts, the Bass Pro Shops, and all the rest of that.
Not just ammunition. When they cut off our food supply. See,
that too.
Right. See, like if we starve their families, we'll make them start fighting.
And that's the reason why I always want to point out. And when you start talking about martial law, it's a lot of factors that go into it. It's a lot of factors the reason why we're here. It's a lot of factors the reason why we're discussing this. When you hear people out there yelling and talking about everything else that's going on in the country at Two Gents Podcast, we're talking about what's next, what's coming up. And I Byron took off his glasses, so he didn't got through researching what he wanted to research. So I'm gonna yield to you, bro, and I'm gonna let you get to your points. I know you too well. I know you too well. See, you done folded your arms. You got you kind of leaning to the right there. I see you.
Hey, Ron,
I see you.
No, I'm actually learning and enjoying, what we're saying, and we've all predicated this. From day one, that there's a variations of opinions. We're not left, we're not right. We just try to be somewhere in the middle. So I'm really enjoying what you and Riggins are saying, because it's one thing to hear about something, and it's another thing, to actually read up on it yourself. And I think, for anybody that may say that you're not doing what needs to be done, well, obviously they don't know you. 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, you're up doing research. 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, you're up looking at podcasts. 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you're trying to figure out what might be beneficial or advantageous to those who normally and typically don't, have a voice. 7 days a week, you're spending your own hard-earned money and not getting paid or reimbursed for what it is that you're doing, trying to provide a platform for people, that's out there who may or may not want, to criticize what it is that you're doing. At the end of the day, when the smoke is clear and the dust settled, we all got something that gives us a disadvantage, but we all got something that gives us an advantage. And right here, all we're trying to do is enlighten and inform. Go to Roland Martin, go to Shannon Sharp. But they won't even invite you there. We'll give you the opportunity to come on here. It's free of charge. So whether we're talking about martial law, whether we're talking about Donald J., whether we're talking about Barack Hussein, George Bush, Bill Clinton, Bush 1, Reagan 4, it really doesn't matter. We try to bring an assessment. By the way, I heard today that the amendment number 2 that failed here in Louisiana, they're trying to bring it back up again at some point in another fashion. Hey, I'd like to say we played a major role in that. Well, even if it's not a major role, we played a role because we informed some people that really didn't know about it. So what we're doing is in context. Somebody may say, well, they don't know what they're talking about. Well, if you feel that way, go listen to Shannon and Roland. We ain't trying to hear that. What we're trying to do is draw people and pull them in. Dale says they racist, super racists have been wanting civil war since the beginning of civil rights. Charles Manson helter skelter was to start a racial war, which would have resulted in a civil war. I mean, people got their concepts of this. Ron, people are seeing attributes. History has a way of repeating itself, even if it's in a different fashion. But Riggins, I think you'll say that there's always a basic foundation of everything. You're going to see some similarities. And when you start seeing similarities in a woman or a man that has done something wrong to you and you're dating this other person, you see it. Hey, look, if you don't start heeding to the message, there's something wrong with it. Right, Ron? So,
absolutely.
At the end of the day, I agree with you. Hey, Barack, the talk about that in the barbershop. You're on national television. We need to hear about what we're dealing with. So that's what I'm saying. I agree with what you're saying. Every now and then I always throw that other perspective in there of what somebody else may be thinking. Not that I'm thinking, because again, we want to make sure that we know and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, which is Ron can defend his point. Riggins can defend his point. John can defend this point. So it's not the fact of somebody knowing more than the other. We just got different perspective, and I just happen to like all of them. Because when we get off of here, what we're doing, we're talking about the next show. We're talking about when we're going to do it again. We're spending time right here, and not one person getting a nickel. Not one person is looking for a nickel. But at the end of the day, we're doing something to contribute. Go ahead, Ricky.
See that mandatory identification? We're already doing this to get on planes.
Right.
They're starting to say you might need your birth certificate to get on planes. They're starting to say that your ID, the driver license ID, have a certain type of barcode on it.
Yeah, a real license.
Mandatory identification. I can't find my birth certificate. I don't have a passport. I'm making examples. My driver license don't fit. Oh, are you a citizen or not? Tell you what, we'll put you in detention center until we figure it out. You don't go home at night. That's all part of it.
Pastor, all that you're saying is true, but here's something that Americans should be aware of. And we say we always out here informing. Those countries that you're going to visit, they don't see America as a superpower no more.
Yeah.
Those countries that you're going into, like Africa and all that, they're becoming superpowers. People running off to China and those other countries out there. America is not viewed as a superpower anymore. So you could get over there and you caught by that, you in their rule. You better act right. You better do right. And if you don't have all your paperwork before you leave, don't get over there without the right paperwork and then expect the government to come get you. They deporting people that they didn't have a reason to deport. What makes you think they're going to come? I think if Brittany Griner would have been in jail at this particular time, she would still be there.
No, but Ron, what I'm saying is this. Not another country. Martial law will make it happen in our country. Let me give you an example. A.F. Riggins driving around in Houston, get pulled over without my right identification. Under martial law, I might not go home. They don't care about me teaching tomorrow morning. They don't care about me preaching on a Sunday. They don't care about I got bills to pay and I got a family. You don't have your right paperwork, sir. We're going to detain you for 30 days. And of course, it's backed up when you're going to go stand for a judge for the next 30 days. And it might turn into 3 months. That's what I'm saying. This is what we see going on in these other countries is coming to us if we have martial law. That's what I'm, you say, man, you scared everybody. No, I'm not scaring everybody. I'm telling you what the possibilities are. You read on the slate right there. Mandatory identification. Prohibition of certain sales. We're not going to sell this no more. He can say, I don't want to sell this anymore. Whatever it might be.
Pastor, Pastor, don't get me wrong. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Right.
But I think that we need to inform people as they travel in and about and around this country. Yeah, it could go to martial law here. But you need to understand that when you leave this country, that we're not the superpower that you think we are.
Right.
And they don't have the respect that they had for us at one time because we have told so many lies over the years to those very same countries that we're going to that they might start to hold people accountable, and the U.S. can't back it up. The thing that I really want you to pay attention to, and most people are not paying attention to, please go out there and look at the what's happening in the Red Sea. You may not have time, but it's going to affect you eventually. And what's going on in this country, martial law and all the rest of that, that's the reason to put in martial law, because we're in a conflict in the Red Sea. And that's one of the things that initiates a martial law is a conflict going on. If we got a conflict that we're fighting and we got a conflict here in the United States, then the only other thing that we can have is martial law.
No, but Ron, pay attention. If Obama or even if George W. Bush would have did martial law, it might be some fairness and equity into it. Trump wants to create a false premise of martial law to use it, like Dale said, racial injustices. See, I understand what you're saying. Chaos is what brings martial law. Trump is creating the chaos. Stock market crashing based on tariffs, creating chaos. Cutting out everybody's jobs so they're unemployed. Doing the DEI stuff, creating chaos. He creates a chaotic situation and then say, oh, to fix it, we need martial law.
One last, I'm gonna make a comment on what you just said, and then we're gonna give it back to you, Byron. I'm gonna give it back to you. You give it to Pastor Riggins because we done went off Instagram at this point. But here's what I'll say: if we've been in America for so long, and tariffs come into play, we've been on the opposite side. We've been on the big boy side, and we allowed that situation to exist. On tariffs, some of the countries that we're putting money into, we're not getting anything out of. So if you constantly giving away stuff in America, you have to somebody has to stand up and correct it. The stock market crashing is probably a correction. You can't continue to go up. You can't continue to go up. Eventually you're gonna go down. If you think that stock market was gonna continue to rise, something was gonna stop it. Whether it was tariffs or anything else, something was gonna stop it. It may be more of a correction. The only thing that we didn't get the warning. And I'm gonna tell you about what I mean. See, the big guys pulled their money out long time ago. They cash strong. So when the market crashed, guess what they do? They go back out there and buy more stocks at a lower price. So when it starts to come back up, and it's going back up, guess what happens? They get richer. So, Glass, I yield there because that's going to be another show.
Hey, man. I'm a year, Riggins. I'm a year.
I'm gonna say one thing about that tariff situation. Historically, Andrew Jackson, the most racist and nationalist president we ever had before Trump. His premises was we need tariffs for the cotton growers to have power. And then he ran the Trail of Tears, ran all Native Americans over to Oklahoma. And he was from South Carolina, beating for states' rights and slavery. Fast forward to 2025, you want to run all the immigrants, supposedly, back to their countries. You want to subvert African American people below the Anglo American people. And the way you do that is you cause the economy to crash. And you call it in the name of tariffs for the power of who you think should have the money. I can't go with Trump on this. When you said the stock market is crashing, people, the retirements are crashing. 401ks, all that stuff is crashing. Because the people that hold all that stuff has money invested in the stock market so that you can make your retirement out of it. I cannot justify nothing that Donald J. Trump ever does. And I won't. Now you can, and somebody else can, and we can debate it, and we still be best friends and pray together and everything. But I will not give him 1 inch to say he's doing anything right. Because his basis is evil. His motive is evil. He came down that golden escalator, evil. 73, C on the application, color, don't rent to him. $1 million, put the Central Park 5 in jail. The list can go on and on. No, the tariffs are wrong because his basis is wrong. Canada, Mexico, all the people been our partner, trading partners. It's wrong because guess how we made off all the stuff our people buy from Taiwan, China, made here, made in Vietnam, all stuff. That stuff, all stuff that we consumed was how we was getting back for the tariffs. The Americans making money by the companies selling the products from the other countries. Trump don't care about us because he's not like us.
Pastor, the only thing I'm gonna say is I'm gonna use one of our phrases that we always use. It's a game called chess, and it's a game called checkers. Somehow the Democratic Party and a lot of people in the United States are playing checkers. Other people are playing chess, and it's a long-term goal. You have to plan your moves out, and you have to know what your next move is. And while we're sitting here playing checkers and not understanding what's going on, we're gonna have a problem because he's sending his vice president with. See, he hasn't even got into that 2-year election cycle. He going all the way. The Republicans are going all the way to the 4-year cycle. He got all his vice president where we could have had our vice president doing the same thing when Biden was in office. Going out, getting those big donors in line, sending them out to these big donors and having him meet with them right now. That's another show. I'm sorry, class. But checkers, chess and checkers. So by the time he gets ready Trump can't run again. By the time he gets over there on the other side, he done got everybody in line. The other thing about the stock market crashing right now, as you say, is at the bottom. The only place it can go is where?
But if it stay down there too long, we're gonna be in bread.
The only place wait a minute, Pastor. History has shown us, Pastor, don't dodge the question. The only place that it can go if it's at the bottom, where?
It can go up, but if it stay
all
there,
right, that's all I want to say. Pastor, it's on you.
Okay.
Last words on you.
All right, before it go up, if it stay there too long, we'll be like the Great Depression.
And then it's gonna still go up after then.
But all the suffering, chaos.
It's gonna still go up, Pastor.
Let's go back to our show. Suffering and chaos, and so what do you have to put in place?
It's gonna still go up, Pastor. You got it.
What do you have to put in place? Martial law.
But Pastor, put us on a higher level, because all this that we're talking is on earth. Put us on a higher level now, please.
Then on the other show, I said no. You want me to say yes.
I want you to say yes, God. You got the control.
Let me tell you what, God is still in control, guys. What we're doing, what y'all getting to watch on this YouTube live and archive, you watching some, I guess with middle-aged African American men, debating the issues that we think are important. Not out there just shooting the breeze, Nothing against people
Oh,
relaxing.
Rick, hold on. Ron, got a question. Ask Ron, what is the chess play with the tariff? Because I don't get it.
Here's the. Do y'all want me to answer that, or do you want to wait? Wait. I'll tell
Hey,
you
man.
what. I'm gonna put that on tomorrow. I'm gonna hold that one to
Ron,
tomorrow.
No.
No, answer.
Hey, we enlighten and inform. Now, again, like I said, these are just text messages, so it's not trying to be internet.
Oh yeah, I understand that.
People just trying to get a.
This is our show. This is what we do. We answer questions. So before we get off there, let me try to help you with these tariffs. If you're a country out there and you putting higher tariffs on us than what we're putting on you, and you've been doing it for years, and nobody ever said anything about it, then when somebody go out there and put a tariff on you, you're the first one to run up and scream. If you look at the media that's going on in these other countries, it's affecting them. If you go out to the BBC and all the rest of those other channels, you'll find all the rest of the other news media that's out there in those countries, it's affecting them more than it's affecting us. The only thing you have to do is go out there and do your research. Yeah, our markets crash, but you know what? We're consumers. We are consumers. The biggest consumers in the world is right here in this country.
Hey, Ron, got a text that says, Mr. Spikes asked the question, what would happen when it hit rock bottom? Somebody says there's always lower than negative, so you can go negative.
Yeah, you can, but we ain't going negative. We're still fighting a war out there that's still spending money out there. We're trying to take care of Ukraine. We're trying to be the negotiators in the train. Ukraine. We got China that's out there trying to come in and take over. Here's the deal with these other countries, even Africa. If you think about it, and Pastor Riggins is a good historian. There's two places out there in the world where commodities run over. Africa. But they don't have no control over their commodities because they let everybody take over. America was a country that had everything. If you look at England and you go to Germany and you go to Italy and all the rest of them, they don't have what we have and what Africa has.
But see, Africa, when you say Africa, it's a continent that has 200-something countries. So
absolutely.
In Africa, right? You talk about natural resources. But Ron, let me tell you something. What I'm pushing back on is that it didn't have to happen. The motive behind it. You could do the right thing for the wrong reasons. If high tariffs in other countries right, he's doing it for the wrong reasons. He's doing it to create a scenario of chaos for him to have power. You ever watch the Hunger Games? That whole trilogy of Hunger Games.
I have. I watched everything because that's all I do is pay attention to TV. I agree with you.
You remember President Snow?
Yeah, I remember.
That's who Trump is. Create a situation with all these districts that they're all hungry, they all have problems. Now we're going to have games for what district can win to have a champion so we won't kill people. This is what I believe. This Trump creates these whole scenario for power so that the Anglo-American high-class citizen, rich billionaire oligarch like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and all of them can be in power. That's what I'm going at.
Pastor, I hate to tell you, but they're already there.
No, but I mean dominate and keep us on our feet. So another Barack Obama could never rise up again. You know what I'm saying? See, when he came into play, when he started having the birthday thing, when Barack Obama had him at the White House dinner, he making jokes on Trump. Trump said, "Well, you making jokes on me, but I got you coming, brother."
Hey, Ron, tariffs impact how much you pay for goods, not the supplier. You got it wrong. I know because I purchase from China all the time.
Let me help you on that because I need you to understand. Because I'm gonna bring it back to reality so you can understand. I can go right to my shelf at Walmart and buy something right at Walmart, and it ain't gonna take 6 weeks to get here.
But it's made in China. They check different from all China.
But do you understand? Do you understand the point that I'm saying? So that person that made that comment, they need to understand. I can go right to Walmart, Target, or
But
any of those other stores and buy my stuff right there.
Ron, you playing
Do
checkers on
you
that.
do? No, I'm not, because I'm playing chess. Because I need you to understand,
It's not
Pastor.
made in Walmart. Walmart is distribution. It's made in China. It's made in other places.
Pastor,
I'm telling you.
Pastor, listen to me. Pastor, I'm gonna help you with the story. I got to put you. See, we got to go here. I was gonna try to end the show. The only thing you had to do was say a prayer.
Mr. White, come on, we having fun.
I don't want you to miss your pizza glass. So I'm gonna stop it right there. I'm gonna give it back to Pastor. I'm moving my mic out. I think I'm James Brown. He got me so fired up over here. So, Pastor, please do what you do. Don't start another discussion,
We
please.
just having fun right now.
Yeah, I know.
This
I know you get fired up, Ron, but let's get back where it's made at. Hey, let's pray. Let's pray.
Amen. Let me take off my Houston tech. I'm sorry they lost, but Glass, you had a guy from Monroe on the team. I want to acknowledge that, and let's go into prayer. I'm gonna take my microphones off too, because I don't want nothing between me and God when Pastor Riggins get through praying.
Hey, Ron, tell Ron it sounds like he bought the Kool-Aid, the tariff Kool-Aid, and without understanding that he's not benefit from it. So we got to go.
What did they say? I didn't hear the question. I had my microphones up. Can I put my hat back on? You're gonna miss your pizza if I start talking. So Pastor Riggins, please help out.
Boy.
Hey, let's pray.
Hey,
Lord, thank you for the opportunity to be able to discuss. Thank you for the energy you give us, the motivation you've given us, the vision you've given us, and even the understanding we have that we have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
We have ideals to share.
Amen.
We don't always all agree, Father, but we're going to the same place, and it's equity, justice, or it's right for our people. Thank you for tuning into the mic. Thank you for those who listen, those who are involved in talking and conversating with us. Thank you, Lord God, that we're starting a movement. We're trying to keep good trouble. We're trying to make good trouble.
Amen.
Lord, we pray for those, the word says to pray for those in leadership. But Lord God, we pray, Lord God, that the mighty move of God will intervene in a lot of things that's going on.
Amen.
But we don't just pray, because faith without works is dead.
Amen.
We work. We give your name the praise. We leave this platform in this place, but not your presence. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
And I just want to say this: if you ever see me again, if you don't ever see me again, just know I love you two brothers. I have to say that.
I know, yeah, we love you too, Ron. We enjoy it.
Hey, I'm gonna do like the teacher. You know, when the class bell ring, Mr. Spikes and Mr. Riggins, I need to see y'all after class. So when the show ends, we gonna sit in and talk for a minute.
Okay, we gonna do it.
Okay.
All right, good night, everybody.
Y'all take care. I'm the one that's got to end the show. I'm sitting up here laughing.